Hi there. Next question. Does being an author means you are rich? Any relationship advice? Hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be doing a Q&A. You sent in your questions on my Instagram and my WhatsApp and my Facebook, and now I'm going to answer a couple of your questions. So let's go.
Your experiences are written beautifully to inspire, bring comfort, and move upon your soul by Saccheen Laing. Not a fan of poetry? I'm about to change that. Like, subscribe, and share.
First question. What are your biggest struggles with marketing your books? Wow, where do I begin? Some of my biggest struggles with marketing my books are the fact that I have to do it completely on my own, as I'm self-published. So I don't have a publishing house that helps me with marketing. So I have to ensure that I put out 100% because it's completely dependent on me. The hardest thing is really because a lot of people don't really love to buy books, so you have to ensure that you are always creative. You come up with different strategies, different ways to pique the interest of your customer base. So for me, with my children's book, it's all about making the books come alive as fun. And because my books are so different, it's about pushing that element of uniqueness that comes with my book. So the hardest part is really to continue to engage people, to get them to review your books, because reviews are what helps you to sell more books. So yeah, I'd say that's the biggest struggle when it comes to selling my books. For my poetry books, my biggest struggle was that it would be that a lot of people don't like to buy poetry books. So what I have to do is ensure that I share snippets of my work on my social media platforms so people know what it is that they would get if they purchase my books, and do videos of poetry readings and stuff like that. So you have to ensure that you bring your books to life for those who aren't particularly readers. Yeah. Second question. Did you get a university degree? I don't know why a lot of people ask this question. Yes, I did go to university. I went to UTech. I got a degree in communication arts and technology. I majored in journalism. Does being an author means you are rich? Well, maybe for some people it would mean that they are rich. For me, no. Being an author has not made me rich. Well, not financially. It has made me rich in other ways, by the terms that I've enriched others' lives. I've made an impact on a lot of people. It has helped with certain aspects financially, yes, but to say that being an author has made me rich, not even close. Next question. What influences your passion? I wouldn't say anything influences my passion. My passion is my passion. My passion is that I love to write. I love poetry. I love to make a difference. Those are my passions. So I wouldn't say I'm influenced by anything. I just feel like that was my purpose. I was created for those purpose. And so I live those purpose every day. In any aspect of my life that I possibly can, I find a way to bring my passions to life. Where in Jamaica are you from? I was born and raised in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. I still live in St. Catherine. What advice would you give someone who wants to write a book but second guesses themselves? I would say that if you continually have the feeling that you should write a book, go for it. It all starts with the first letter. sometimes you feel as if you can't write a book, but then as soon as you put the first letter on the page, everything that kind of just starts to flow. So I just say just get started. The more you keep saying I can't do this, I can't do this, more time that you're wasting. So I would say just get started. The fact that the thought lives with you, it continues to linger with you, it means that there's something more to it. So I'd say, yeah, if you continue to have that feeling, go for it. Diana, were you a good English student, and did your teachers influence you in any way? Well, yeah, I'd say I was a good English student. English was one of my favorite subjects, along with history. Yeah, those were my favorite subjects. I was good. Would I say my teachers influenced me in any way? In primary school, there's a teacher called Mrs. Williamson who changed my life. She made me value my education far more than I did at that time. And up to this day, she still continues to live within my heart. And she literally changed my entire life at such a young age. I would say that teachers influenced me in a way where I took my education seriously. I thank them for teaching me, well, providing me with the tools that I needed to go out and to write my books and to build the life that I've always wanted to. So yeah, I'd say that they've influenced me in that way. Next question. How do you remain so positive? Well, firstly, I want to say thank you for thinking that I'm a positive person. I try my very best to be. I'd say how I remain positive is by de-stressing every day. After I finish working, I meditate, I take a long shower, I use that time to myself to regroup, to look at what's working in my life, what isn't working. I literally, every single day, I evaluate relationships, work, every aspect of my life. I see what I need to improve on, what I'm doing well. I make sure I reward myself, because a lot of times we're hard on ourselves and we tend to be our biggest critics. So I ensure that I not only critique myself, but I reward myself. I try my best not to compare my life to others. I think that's very, very detrimental. So I try to stay away from stuff like that. I don't go on people's Instagram and like analyze how they're living and compare. I try to avoid that as best as possible. I'll just go on social media and browse and not be consumed by it all, you know. So I think that's also very important. So yeah, I think that's really how I become positive. I feed myself positive affirmations every single day. I'm not saying that there are moments when I don't break down and I can't be bothered and I feel like giving up. Yes, I do have those moments, but it's all about finding the time to regroup and to just rechannel your thoughts, refocus, spend some time. If you want to break down, but then it's what happens after. So just take some time and evaluate, and then you'll be able to move forward in a more positive light. Me again. So the next question. How long have you been doing poetry? Well, my mother said I've been writing from I was about 5 years old. So but my recent memory, I would say from about 11, I started to share publicly in about 2011 though. So, but yeah, I've been writing for a very, very long time. I absolutely love poetry. If you haven't, you should check out my poetry on Instagram, and even here on YouTube I have a couple videos of me doing poetry readings. Next question. How have you been managing COVID-19? Wow. Well, I've been inside a lot. It's not so hard for me because I love being inside. I love being at home. I love being inside. So that aspect of COVID-19 has not been difficult for me. But I think for me it's mostly about kind of distancing myself at times from like the news stories to ensure that I don't become overcome with it, because a lot of negative energy can really bring you down. So I think that's been the hardest aspect for me, kind of finding time to distance myself from the news items when I possibly can, because as you know, I study journalism, so I have a love for the news itself. But at times you have to ensure that you kind of just take some time away from it, clear your mind and refocus. Also, I have to, because my mother suffers from hypertension, I have to ensure that I keep myself safe to ensure I don't catch COVID-19 and give it to her. So I've ensured that I stay inside as best as possible and to follow the different measures outlined to ensure I keep myself and my family safe. But my biggest issue, as I said, will have been the news, just distancing myself from that when I can. My mental state has been up and down, because even as someone who loves to be indoors, there are times when you want to see other people, when you want to be in the company of other individuals. So I've ensured that I just find time, use this time to fall in love with myself all over again. I've used the time to get to know myself more and to just build my relationship with myself. So yeah, that's for me and COVID-19. Any relationship advice? Why would you want to ask me for relationship advice? I would say, especially in these times, is to remember that loving yourself comes first. You can't love someone else until you love yourself. Strengthen your relationship with yourself. Woo. Did you see that? Wow. Okay. Strengthen your relationship with yourself so that you can better give of yourself to someone else. Ensure that you aren't dependent on your partner. A lot of people say that, why would you want to be dependent? I mean, you can want your partner, but I don't believe in needing your partner. I think that's a dangerous space to be in. So I'd say focus on things like that. Learn what makes your partner feel special, feel wanted, and just ensure that you continue to do those things no matter how long you've been in the relationship. Let's go. Are your poems about your own relationships? Let me just say that 40% or even 30% of my work is about my personal experiences. The rest of my work is just by observations of others and just literally things that just come to me. So no, majority of what I write is not about my own experiences, and even if there were, I wouldn't pinpoint and tell you exactly which one are. I'll leave that to you. Next question. Do you have to be sad or angry to write? No, I don't have to be in a particular mood to write. I just write. I'll just sit down and be like, I want to write today, and then I'll write. So no, I don't have to be in a particular mood to write. I just want to write, I'll write. Hi there. Next question. Do you want to get married someday? Yes, I would love to be married someday, but is it something I continually think about? No. Why? I believe that as women, a lot of time we're pressured into marriage and having children and all of those things, and I don't want that to consume my mind to the point where I start to think negatively as if something wrong with me. Why have I not accomplished these things by a certain age? Yeah, I don't want to put myself in that space. I've been in that space, and it's a really, really bad place to be in. So I don't focus on it. I literally don't think on it. I mean, as a woman, from time to time the thought will come across your mind, but I don't believe that we should be fixated on it and to set these ridiculous timelines. But yeah, someday I might, who knows. If the universe sees it fit, then I will. Yeah. And before I go, I just want to share a couple nuggets with you. During this time, a lot of us are literally going through so much. Some of us have lost our jobs. A lot of us have lost loved ones. Some of us are just literally struggling with our mental health, and there's just a whole lot going on. I just want to encourage you guys to, it might be hard, but to maybe perhaps make a list of something positive that you can take away from each day. Meditate. Literally, meditation is what has helped me through this entire thing, and hopefully will be able to help you as well. So I want to encourage you guys to meditate, eat healthier, because a lot of people don't realize that the food that you consume has a lot to do with your mental state. So consume better foods. Exercise is always good for helping you through depression. And just relax. Work can be hectic. Life is extremely stressful right now. Find at least 5 to 10 minutes every day to just be to yourself. Just use the time to evaluate every aspect of your life. Things are falling apart. Use that time to try to build something, work on something else. You lost your job? Maybe that's an opportunity for you to find another approach, find a new skill, a new passion. You never know. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.